Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Soul Powered Podcast. I'm here with Victoria.
Hey girl, how's
Okay,
it going?
it's going great, and we're going to swap back because
Yes,
we don't do each other's accents very well. But holy shit, we're here in person! Oh my god, guys! Hello, hi
I'm
everyone.
so excited for this.
Holy shit!
Hmm.
Okay, this has been 5 years in the making.
It has.
We just got back from Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
She's gone to
We need to
okay.
describe what Chick-fil-A is because
Yeah.
my listeners might not know what it
Oh,
is.
no.
So for the British listeners, Chick-fil-A is it's not like KFC, but it's similar, but more high vibe. Yeah. And we got free
Yeah,
shit.
more
Honestly.
we did get free shit, yeah. We always get free shit. We
We
got
do. Oh my God.
we have.
Since we've been together,
Uh-huh.
let's relay it.
Okay, so we'll work backwards because my mind is
Yeah.
working in that way. So we just got offered a free milkshake,
And which we took.
which we took because neither of us wanted it, and we're gonna save it for Lana, but we don't refuse things that are sent by the universe.
I
We're
was
like,
going
"No."
to say no, thank you, because I'm so full. And Rebecca was like, yes, thank you. I would love it. And then I was like, oh yeah, we don't refuse things that I give.
Yeah.
She was literally going to chuck it away.
She was gonna throw it away. So I'm like, well, of course we're gonna take it. And see, this is the thing,
Big
is
O's.
that this wouldn't have been me like 5,
Yeah.
10 years ago. It wouldn't have been. It would have been like, oh no,
Well,
like
first
it was
of
just
all,
someone
calories.
else or
Oh, yeah.
calories. Yeah, that would have been the first
Yeah.
one. Second one would be, I don't want to, give it to someone else who's in like needy, whatever. She was gonna throw it away either way. But it's a lesson in receiving and like being comfortable receiving things in life, right? Because the
Yeah.
way that you do one thing is the way you do everything. So it's just like if we
That's
want
so
more from
true.
the universe, then why are we saying no to things that are literally like, here you go. I'm
Yes.
trying to bless you. And you're like, no, I don't want it. Like, what else?
So true.
Okay.
Well, funnily enough, although you forgot to use them, you were giving $20
I forgot
for $20 vouchers for Chick-fil-A, which she
which I
forgot
forgot
to
to
use, but they were
We just
given to
paid.
her slash us.
Yes.
And then we were shopping and you got those glasses for like a
Oh,
third of what you
yeah.
thought that they should be
Yes.
with free prescription
Yes.
fizzle in there.
Yes. Oh, when we won a ticket for 500 or
Yeah.
$1,000 and then we split it. My husband, Eris,
Yes.
he's like came to me the other day and was like, yeah, we just won $1,000. I'm like, oh,
That's cool.
that was cool. I was excited about that. What else?
When you went to pay for the makeup, she was like, oh, do you want this for free or just have this money off because of some reason?
We
You
just
were
got
like,
some money
oh.
off.
And I think there was one other thing, but I can't think now. But it is constant.
It is.
And that's not just because we're together. That's because we're
No,
at work, right?
right,
And we're open
exactly.
to receiving.
Exactly. And that's the fun part is like you get to see because like
Yeah.
those are the things that a lot of people don't get to see. And
Yes.
I have to be more, that's the life I live now. And so I just think it's like normal, but it's obviously not.
No, it wasn't normal for me. It is
Mhm.
now,
It is now.
but it never was
Mhm.
because you'd look at people and be like, oh, they're the lucky ones. They win everything. Like
Yeah.
I've never won anything in my life. Although to be fair, which is what apparently I say a lot. Rebecca's
You
like,
say a lot.
you say
It's
to be
okay.
fair all
It's-
the time. And I'm like,
Now I
I'm
picked up
owning
on
that.
it. Now I picked up on it.
To be
Okay.
fair, the lottery, although it wasn't not lottery, the raffle with the massive chocolate
Oh,
bar.
yeah.
We
Yeah.
need to put a picture of this chocolate
Yeah,
bar
we
at
gotta
some
put the
point
picture.
somewhere,
Okay.
somehow.
Mhm.
We didn't do a raffle personally, which is probably why I didn't win.
Yeah.
But we influenced where someone put their raffle ticket, and I was
We
like,
did.
please put it in the big chocolate bar, and if you win it, please can I have it?
Yes.
I haven't won that,
No, we hadn't won that.
but whatever.
But we did go. So Victoria came. It's been a week.
It has, well,
Today.
a week tomorrow because I arrived on a Thursday.
Oh,
I'm
you
gonna go back on a
oh.
Thursday.
My
Yeah.
days. I don't
We
know
got
what days
all our
are.
days. Literally, I don't know what day it is today, only because I go back tomorrow, so I know it's a Wednesday.
Yeah, we know it's a Thursday tomorrow. So
Yeah.
she's been here a week. And
Yeah.
oh my God. Okay. So for those of you who didn't see the video, we gotta put it up.
Oh, you need
I've
to
been
see
so
them.
present with her that I haven't been like posting anything. So we're gonna update you guys all. By the time this is out, everything will be out.
Yeah.
But if you've seen the video of us meeting, freaking the fuck out. I was literally shaking.
Did you not? You knew I was
Yeah.
like this. Like that. You can't see my face, but you can see my body being like, cry.
I was telling Eric in the
Yeah.
car. I was like, I'm fucking shaking. I think I'm gonna throw up. I think I'm gonna shit my pants or throw up. He's like, I was yelling at him like,
He
"You
was
better get your
giggling.
camera."
We can hear him on the video. He was giggling when it went because I screamed. Like, I
I
literally
we did
did
get
the
that
whole
on
screen.
camera, yeah, that was on camera. But I was like, "Get out, like, don't," because I was like, "I don't care." Eric gets a little bit, like, nervous, like, if
When
people are, like,
people are judging
watching
us.
him or judging us, and I was like, "Listen, I don't care what you
Yeah.
think. Get the whole thing recorded and don't stop recording until I tell you." And then he did. He literally
He
did. He kept
continued.
going the whole time. It
He
was
did
so
a good
cute.
job.
So you guys will see that, but
So
holy shit, so
special.
this was 5 years in the making. I still am
But
like, "Is this real?"
I know every morning I wake up, so we'll go into where I'm staying in a moment. I wake up and I'm like, I still message you good
Yeah,
morning.
yeah.
And I'm like, I'm literally going to see her in a minute. And I'm still like,
It's
this is
weird.
not a dream.
I
She's
think
literally
yeah.
there. And
It
she's
feels like a
literally
dream. It
here.
feels like it's a dream. I don't know what we're gonna do, like, going back to our normal lives,
I
but now we
know.
have places to visit
Yes.
once a year. So
Yeah.
what we've decided to do is her come here
Yeah.
and then me go there, and we'll just rotate every
Vice
year.
versa. And I assume every time I come here, we'll go to like West Virginia or we'll stop here.
Yes.
And when you come to Europe, we'll
Yes.
do each your an
Exactly.
European country.
Yes.
Because that
Because
makes
there's
sense.
so fucking much, and it's the cutest thing ever because she's literally, like, so excited
Jealous.
about, like, the most basic shit where I'm like, "Okay, let's go to, like, the, Burgatory," which anybody here in the US, you know what Burgatory is.
Wait till you hear what
Freaking the
it's
fuck
about.
out, okay? For those of you who
I
are not
mean,
here in the US.
even my face now, and I've experienced it already. So we get to this restaurant, and I knew it was about burgers, obviously. And we sit down, and there's this like piece of paper
Mm.
with, oh, I wish I'd got it with me
Oh, you should
to
have
show.
kept it. Yeah, that's
With
okay.
you can have a pencil with a tick. You have a pencil and you tick which one you want. You can choose what type of meat you want, whether you want meat or chicken or vegetarian or whatever. You can choose your bun, you can choose your cheese, you can choose your salad, you can choose the rub that you have, you can choose your toppings. And I'm like,
And it's a lot of
what do I say?
choices.
Like, it was almost like I didn't use the word allowed, but it's almost like, wait, I have this much choice and
Mhm,
abundance to create
mhm,
my own burger. And I was
mhm.
like blown away. Because
She was shaking.
normally
So
I normally
excited.
go to a burger place in Holland and I'll recreate something. So create something. So I'll be like, right, so can I have this burger, but without the bacon, but then can I have extra jalapenos and then
Yes.
extra this cheese and then sometimes say yes, sometimes say no. So I do that anyway, but to have it fully there,
Mhm.
and the waitress was like, that is so cute because I was very excited. And then the milkshake afterwards, you couldn't even drink it with a
Uh-huh.
straw.
Uh-huh.
You had to have a spoon.
You used to spoon. So she's in her
I'm
glory
in my glory.
with
And I
all of the
saw a yellow
food.
school bus. Like Rebecca was like, "What are you recording?" Oh yeah, the scenery is beautiful. I'm like, "Oh no, it's the yellow
School
bus
bus.
that I've never seen in person, only on movies." And I'm like, "Oh, it's school bus." Yeah, I'm very easily
Mhm.
excitable.
It's cute because I have all these things planned. I'm like, let's take her the most
We need
epic
to do
things, and
big
she's just
stuff
like,
in
Bath
like
and Body Works. Oh my god! I'm
you
like,
can
this
smell
is
so much
literally,
stuff.
yeah, it's so cute. I
And
love it.
it
It's been so
it feels
incredible.
like home now, and it's not. Yes, you are a big part of that,
Yeah.
and your mum being so welcoming because I'm literally staying. You can see the house from here. Can you?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
that
right there.
way.
Right there.
It's literally yeah there.
Yeah.
And this beautiful huge room with my own ensuite, and it's beautiful to stay there and have our own space
Mhm.
as well. But just Pittsburgh, like I just feel like home.
Yeah.
It's like hard to describe. The
I know what you mean.
scenery,
Yeah.
the trees, like you can't see what I'm looking at right now. It's just
Yeah.
absolutely stunning. The water everywhere, the bridges.
Mhm.
It's so beautiful.
It's cool. I do love it here, and also I feel like I shared this with her the other day, but it's weird because okay, so we want to talk about like how these types of friendships are possible, right? We're not just here to like
And how we met.
share our stories.
We could do
Yes,
that.
we have to talk about
Yeah.
how we met and then why it's so important to start talking about how these relationships are possible because
Mhm.
I literally feel like and this might sound stupid because like we're both 36,
Yeah.
and like we're like high school best friends, or
Yeah.
like when you were a baby,
It's
or like not even a
everything
baby, but like a
combined.
kid, you're like, yeah,
Best
pinky
friends
promise,
forever,
best friends
forever,
forever. But
forever.
that's really how we feel about each other. And it's fucking
Yeah.
crazy. And I feel like when you came here, you know how you just don't know that you're in love until you know you're in love, right? Like obviously it's a knowing, it's
Yeah.
a feeling.
Yeah.
And whenever she came, I was like, oh, my life is like complete. Like I didn't know that I
Yeah.
wasn't complete, but then you're here and I'm like, oh, that
That's
was
it.
why, because that's like my missing person.
I
And
feel
you're
exactly the
here.
same way.
And we're
It's
like very clear about the fact that we were sisters in a past life.
1000% more than sisters.
Yeah, like twins.
We've been also lives before that. We've been family in
Yeah,
like different
different ways.
genders and different ways.
'Cause
1,000%.
even
There's a
seeing you with
deeper
my
knowing.
mom and my
Yes,
sisters,
that was
I
a
knew that would
realization
happen,
for you.
but I
Yeah.
also you don't know that it's gonna happen until it happens, and then watching you interact with, like, my siblings and whatnot, I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah, you're just one of us.
Yeah.
Of course."
It's
You know?
amazing.
It's so cool.
So I think we need to say how we met because I mean, as I say as usual, but when friendships from what I've heard are as good as ours, and I'm gonna share how I never thought this was possible either. It's not just a normal way of meeting somebody.
Never,
Like the way
never.
I met my husband, my now husband Wouter, that shit is not normal. You don't meet a Dutch guy in Egypt on a massive resort. Like what? And like how
Yeah.
we met was
Mhm,
not normal.
mhm.
So you share your first part because you met Wouter before me, right?
Yeah, yeah, so there was a lot of things that led up to that, like, even going to
Mm,
CHBC. I mean, and I'm not gonna share all of the backstory because 'cause we'd be here all day, but the reality came down to me deciding to become a coach with Brendan Bouchard.
mhm.
And I was flying, and I remember, like, at one of my stops, I had a stop on the way to California because I had to fly out to California to go and get this certification for the 5-day event with Brendan. And I remember, like, stopping at one of the stops, and I had access to, like, my Wi-Fi, and then I saw this message come through from Voucher because I had used a hashtag that would have been relevant to this event. And he found me on there.
Social media savvy.
I know, right? How could you not been all social media savvy?
Exactly.
And so he's like, "Okay, are you coming here?" Like,
So he literally just
to come
literally found you through you hashtagging something.
Instagram
So he felt the
through a
need at
hashtag.
that point, that moment in time,
Uh-huh.
to search a hashtag and he found
Exactly.
you.
What the fuck?
Like, what the hell?
Yeah. So he found me that way. And then because this was gonna be like 500 to 1,000 people at this event.
Mm.
And so, obviously it's a big networking opportunity as well. You meet people from all over the world. And so we ended up getting to the first day that I got there, it was him. He had apparently been doing this with others too. So we got together with
Hashtag stalking.
hashtag stalker. No, we love you out there. We appreciate you. So he messaged me and then he must have messaged like Perry, which Perry is incredible. He's also like a Dutch guy. So the first night that we got there, we kind of met up and then we hit it off really well, all three of us. They were talking, I couldn't understand what they were saying, but that's okay. And then the next day, there was three others, Katie, Kari, and Phil. And we made a little family together. And because like basically, again, there's 1,000 people here. So
Mm.
we don't know anyone. We created a little unit and then we just kind of stuck together. So every night we go to dinner together or we would like hang out, and just find each other and then sit together. And so you're sharing a lot about your life. And Voucher was just obsessed with you as he is, even from then. And I'm like, okay, my baby this, my baby that. It was so
Yeah.
cute. And so we ended up staying in touch, all of us afterwards. But for whatever reason, it seemed like me and him were the ones who really wanted to keep the group going. But then
Yeah.
everyone else sort of went back to
Like
their
trailed
life,
off a little bit.
trailed off a bit, and we still love them and I still connect with all of them.
But
But
they're not
they
as
weren't
committed.
really that like committed to at least staying in the group with us.
Yeah.
And so it ended up that me and him were like, well, we want to keep this going. Shall we like practice together? What should we do? And we decided to start like a little mini mastermind with some others who were like that. So nobody from CHBC. It was like I brought some
Did he
people
bring
in. I don't
anyone
think he
in?
brought
I
anyone
don't
in.
think he brought
Yeah.
anybody
I don't
in.
think he brought anyone in. I think I just like got a
I
group
think
of
you
like
did.
people together and was like, we just need to keep this momentum
Yeah.
going because I need these kind of people in my life and I wanted to add value to their lives and was really like wanting to network. And then he kept saying things, and even when we were in California, he would say this like, "Oh, you're so much like Victoria this, Victoria that, and like you guys are so similar in this." And I'm like, "Okay." And then eventually I was just like, "Well, if we're so similar, why am I talking to you and not her? Where's Victoria?" So then
Meanwhile, Victoria in the background
we'll turn it over.
was not the woman I am today. That was, yeah, 5 years ago now. So I was kind of healing from the eating disorders. With the eating disorders, of course, like the root of that was not feeling good enough, feeling inadequate. And I compensated for that by trying to be as beautiful and as slim as possible. Many of you can relate, I'm sure. So I was jealous of Rebecca. Not the fact that I didn't trust Wouter. It wasn't anything to do. I
Yeah.
didn't have any of that, like, what are you messaging her? It was nothing to do with that. I fully trusted him in that regard. And she rubbed me up the wrong way just by being present in his life, because she was
Mm.
also really into personal development, more so than I ever was at that point. So Wouter loved that
Mm.
too. There's a reason why they were still connected. And then I also showed, I must have been talking about you more than I even remember, because I showed my mum a photo of you for some on your WhatsApp. I don't even have your WhatsApp, and I showed you a photo to my mum. My mum was like, "Oh, she's really pretty," and I was like, "That's annoyed me also." Because yes, obviously she's pretty, but why do you have to like? Why would that be
Why do you
something
have
you
to
would
say
say? But then why did I show her a picture? There's obviously
yeah.
something going on. So I felt rubbed up the wrong way. That's all I can say by Rebecca. And then when Basha was like, "Oh, Rebecca wants to meet you," I was like, and then I was like this, and like my walls kind of started to, and
Yeah,
I was like,
okay.
okay. And then I'd let that go. And then we met for the first time. Well, it was on WhatsApp call, so it wasn't video. And you don't remember
Mhm.
this, but I do very
Mhm,
clearly.
mhm.
It was the day that in the Netherlands, our clocks changed. So whichever way it was, I was an hour late in quotes, because I wasn't late because my time zone was
Yeah,
hours on time,
yeah.
but yours don't change till the week
Mhm.
after. So you thought I was an hour late. And then when I saw the messages from Rebecca, like, "Where are you?" and stuff, I was like, I went into panic mode again, not being good enough. Like, I'd gone from hating Rebecca to
Mhm.
have her on this pedestal right now. Then I was like, "Oh my god, she thinks I'm like an hour late, and I don't care, and I really do." And I remember like speaking really fast. You're like this, and be like, "I'm
Mhm.
so sorry," even though it was something that I'd done. I was on
Yeah.
time, so we had our conversation then,
Uh-huh.
and literally we've spoken every day apart from like when we've been away and
Mhm.
stuff. Every single day, either Zoom, video
Mhm.
call, audio call, or voice messages
That
for
is
5 years.
it's crazy.
And we keep saying we was going to meet, and then COVID happened,
Yeah,
and
we
then
didn't think we were ever gonna be able to meet.
we didn't think
We
we,
were so
and I
scared.
hate being told I can't do something. So
Me too.
there's no judgment here, but I haven't taken the vaccine, so I
Mhm.
couldn't come to the US.
Yeah.
So that pissed me off even more, because even if I wanted to, I couldn't literally go into the country.
Yeah.
So I was like, when this shit is over, I'm coming to see you. And when I get a bee in my bonnet about something, what was it the other day? Oh, about a tattoo. I was like, I have this thing, like, I'm fucking
Uh-huh.
doing this. So when all COVID died down, then it took ages for the US to lift when it the
Mandates and all
mandate
that.
that you
Yeah.
have to have blah blah blah. I was like, Rebecca, fuck it, I'm coming. And then I just kind of just did it,
Mhm.
because I do love that about myself. I just do it.
Mhm.
And I did it. And that was it like 6 or 7 months ago. I booked it. It was quite a while
Yeah, it was a
ago.
long time ago, which I can't believe it came that fast. I mean, we knew that it would,
Yeah.
but it's really funny, like and even you bringing all of this up, I'm thinking back to, like, I don't know what it is, and then maybe it is the sister wound,
Yeah.
but, like, my friend Alicia that I was just telling you about the other day, we met in the same way where, like, we hated each other at first. That's a
Yes.
little bit different of a circumstance, but I
Yes.
have a lot of guy
That's
friends because I
interesting.
also have had this sister wound, so for me, before I met Eric, I had no women friends. None.
Wow.
Like, none. I mean, Melina was in my life and we were really close, but that was pretty much it. And then, because everyone had moved away,
Mm.
like Sam, my oldest friend, I've told you about, she lives in
Yeah.
Israel. And then Alicia, who was my close friend, she moved away. And then Melina's the only one who's close, but she was also married at the time. She had her own life going on. So for me, it was nothing to ever have like a guy male friend, And so
Mm.
it's just funny because it would be funny that we
Oh,
both kinda you
yeah.
know what I mean? Like,
If
that
thou should
you
be,
would
I see.
think
Yeah.
that it was something strange, whereas for
Yes.
me, that
Normal.
was my normal. Like, Mike
Oh,
was one of my
God.
closest friends. I mean,
And
he still's
JP,
very good friend.
even like,
And JP and, like, Gerard at the time, I think you met Gerard.
yeah.
Like, some of those guys, like, they literally, like, that's who I hung out with. And then when I met Eric, he was like, "Okay."
All of his friends are
All your
male.
friends
Should I
are
be
guys.
thinking?
And he was like, "Well, all right." So it actually is really funny and just like super quick side note, but he was telling me like, "Well, most of your guy friends probably are interested in you."
Yeah.
And I was like, "That's not true." And he was
Yeah.
like, "Well, ask them if they want to meet me." And then sure enough, only like a handful of them who were still in my life wanted to meet him.
So that
Everybody
shows.
else wasn't. He was right.
Mm,
So,
that's
long
that
story
too.
long, it's just funny because yeah, like it's interesting that I, like, hated Alicia. We hated each other, now we're, like, really close, and then me well, I didn't hate you because
I hate you before I
I
even knew
didn't know that you
you.
hated me, but it's funny that, like, we describe it in that way because doesn't it just speak to how society has programmed us to not trust each other?
Absolutely, and be in competition.
Yeah, literally.
When sisterhood is the opposite to that.
Yeah.
It's like we are now, we celebrate each other's
Mhm.
wins. We're there for each other
Yeah.
through, I want to say losses, but there is no losses. There's
Yeah.
only lessons
Yeah.
and
We've been
learnings.
through so much, like,
So much. Oh my
together.
goodness.
And then I even told you the other day, like, normally, or not normally, because I don't wanna, like, make that's my norm, but in the past, if you had come here or something, I might be like, "Oh, like, is Eric gonna think she's so pretty?" Or, like, I'm, like,
Mm,
looking at you, like, just, "Oh my god, she's so pretty," like, "Is she
comparing.
skinnier than me?" Like, whatever, like, there's literally been none of that. And this is, like, the first time in my life that it's really, I don't wanna say, like, because I
You can
have
see it.
incredibly beautiful friends and
Yeah.
whatnot too. It's just
Who
you
would you
and
ask what
I.
you are? Just
Yeah.
saying.
Oh. Well, it's just, it's like the first real time where I just really noticed it.
Yes.
You know what I
And see
mean?
how
That
far
I
you've
have
come.
0, because you're a
Yeah.
newer person in my life. Like, I don't get that way with Alicia. I'm not jealous
Yeah.
because, you know what I mean? It's a long time friendship that we've built. Same thing with like Belina. And I'm thinking of Sam and my friends who I've known for a long time. But like, yeah, I feel like in the past I would have been like really jealous
Yeah.
or like, "Oh, look how pretty her hair
Not
is," or this or
feeling
that, and I'm
safe or
just,
whatever.
but I feel really happy because 'cause I'm like, "Oh, she's so cute, like, she's so pretty, she's so perfect," and I
What my
love
favorite
it.
these days, that or something, I don't
Mhm.
know, whatever.
So it just shows that it's possible to, like, heal from that really
And
deep
genuinely
wounding.
celebrate, not
Yeah.
pretend not to care.
No. And we were
Genuinely,
both probably really bad, like,
yeah,
jealous-wise. I
really
mean, I
bad.
know I
Because all
was.
I did
We've
was
talked about
compare. I
that.
had to be the skinniest in the
Uh-huh.
room, especially in the anorexia, the prettiest anywhere, and then I would, like, scan, and I'll be like, "Oh, it's
Mm.
okay. I'm the prettiest, I'm the thinnest." But
Oh.
it looked from a perspective, no one would know I was doing that,
Of
but
course.
it would be from an ego perspective, but I just felt so unsafe when I really understood what was
Yeah.
going on.
That's
It's
sad.
probably the same for you too. I felt so unsafe,
Mhm.
not being validated, which meant lack of
Yeah,
love and basically death as a child with
of
no love.
course. Yeah.
It was that deep for me, so it was comparison all the time, and I used to compare
Mhm.
myself to you, but then as our friendship developed, we would share,
Mm.
"Oh, hey, I'm comparing myself to
Yeah,
you," and we would just talk about it, and then the shame dissipates when you share, when it's
yeah.
met with love, when you say, "Oh, well, actually, I used to do this to you, and then this is how
Uh-huh.
I grew through it," and then it's communicating and
Mhm.
sharing and being vulnerable because you can't have, and I knew I'd end up tears in my eyes at some point.
Aw.
You can't have a relationship like ours without going deep
Yeah.
and being vulnerable.
Aw.
It's impossible.
I
You
know.
have to really allow yourself to be seen and to be
Mhm.
received,
Mhm.
even though it's fucking uncomfortable and
Yeah.
you're like, what's she gonna think?
Mhm.
And we hadn't even met, so now we've met. Oh my god, it's never gonna be the same again
It'll never be
in
this.
an even better way,
Yeah.
which I didn't think was possible. But you have to go there. So
Mhm.
I also want to be quiet and let Rebecca speak in a moment, but I also wanted to get through to everyone listening that think of a friendship. And if you have this, I'm so fucking happy for you.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
if you haven't got this, think of a friendship, perhaps mine and Rebecca's, something you see on TV, whatever, and feel that in your heart. And then times that by fucking 100, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because we didn't
Yeah.
know that this was possible. So
We
it's
had
not
to.
like with a man, I guess, I would sit and think, oh, I would love to have him. And that has now come
Mhm.
true. But I didn't even know this friendship was possible because all I knew was comparison with women
Yeah.
and having to have the upper hand all the time in order to
Yeah.
feel safe. So this was such unknown territory to me and you too.
Yeah.
But you have to be
Yeah.
vulnerable and share. That's
You
the
do.
only way you're going to get to
And
this
that's the hard, you have to have the
level.
hard conversations.
Yeah, because there's been a few times where we've misunderstood. I
Mhm.
people pleased Rebecca
Mhm.
because I was in my people pleasing tendencies, and you too.
Mhm.
And then Rebecca said to me to be on the other end of me people pleasing isn't nice.
Mhm.
And I just sat with that and was like, that's so true. I'm doing Rebecca a disservice when actually,
Mhm.
when I was in the people pleasing, I thought I was doing it,
Yeah.
but it's the
It's the
opposite. But
opposite.
if Rebecca doesn't share that shit with me, I don't learn and grow. But
Mhm.
we don't say it in like, yeah, well, you didn't say it like that. You just offer me your honest insights and I
Yeah.
receive that. And the same, like, it's just such a gift and we have to work on ourselves though as well.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah. I mean, 'cause if we didn't work on
We couldn't
ourselves,
have
we
these
couldn't receive
conversations.
each other in that way. And it
Yeah.
really truly is such a beautiful example, and I think that for me, I had no idea. I had no idea that this kind of friendship was available, even the kind of relationship I have with Eric or Lana, because the whole,
Yeah.
society just like paints this picture of like what marriage is going to look like and how women are, behind each other's backs, or how even I told you what people would say about Lana when she was born, like, oh,
Yeah.
wait till she has the terrible twos or the horrible threes. Like they just want to project all of their shit. And so we see this kind of stuff happening. And then, well, that's how it is. That's how it's supposed to be. And then when things
Yeah.
come up, it's like, oh, yeah, that's evidence. That is how it
Yeah,
is.
because I
Well,
used
then
to talk
forget
shit
it.
about my friends behind the back, like when I was
Mhm.
younger, a teenager, because my mum
Yeah.
used to.
Yeah.
So that's just what you do. So it feels so ingrained, but
Mhm.
that's not what you do.
That's not what you
That's the
do.
unhealed, like
That's
feminine.
exactly
You don't
it.
do
Yeah,
that
you don't
shit.
have to do that. You don't
No.
have to do these kinds of things, and I think for us, like, just being able to, like you said, just be vulnerable, just be open, and then meeting that other person with love,
Yeah.
and that's the one thing that, like, and Eric and I have healed a lot, you and Voucher have healed a lot together, and it's just even watching you guys interact, it's beautiful
Mm.
because it's just there's so much love. And I think Eric and I have always had this kind of this phrase that we use is like, can we just know each other's hearts? Even in the moment where
Mhm.
we literally are in our egos.
Yes.
Do you know my heart? Because he said to me one time, and I'll never fucking forget this. He said, when you're triggered, I'm not talking to you.
No.
He goes, I'm
No.
literally here. Like, I want to shake you and be like,
Yeah.
where is she?
Yeah.
Where
Because
is
that's old
Rebecca?
trauma we're being played out
Yes.
in reaction in the present moment.
Yes, because this is who we really are.
Yeah.
Not when we're triggered, not when we're frustrated, not when we feel like our back is against the wall or jealous, or that's not who we are. That's our conditioning, our programming, our
Yes.
ego.
Yes.
This is who we are.
Mm.
And so if we are acting in a way that is not congruent with this, then can we know each other's hearts?
Yeah.
Can you know that I fucking love you and I don't want you to be hurt, even if you are, like I want you to succeed. Now I'm getting emotional. You know what I mean? And it's just like, I don't want you to think that I'm, trying to hurt you in any way or jealous. Like, I don't want to do that to you. And if it's perceived that way because of our own trauma,
And that's
like
on me, that
it's
would
the
be on
same thing.
me if I
Yeah, but
perceived.
I also don't want that. So, like, it's
Yeah.
like I can love you through a trigger,
Yeah.
or you can love
And
me
I
through a
can share
trigger.
if I'm aware, and we do this if we're aware, which
Yeah.
I'm gonna pat ourselves on the back and say
We
we're
are
aware a
very
lot of the
conscious.
time,
Yeah.
not all the time, a lot of the time. You or I will say, I feel triggered, whether it's because of you or because of
Yes.
something that I want to bring to you to chat
Yes.
through.
Yes.
I feel triggered and I'm in my ego right
Yeah.
now. Like,
Can you
can
help
you just
me?
help me through this?
Yeah.
So it's not about never being triggered. I
Oh
mean,
my
oh my
god, no,
God,
we're
the
triggered all the
human
time.
experience is one big fucking trigger.
Yeah.
It's understanding that, being aware of that, letting that go. Then the next time you
Yeah,
won't be triggered. So the
exactly.
more work you do, the less triggered you are. So
Yes.
even like one time you said yesterday or the day before, and I know you didn't mean it, it's just your old conditioning. You said, I don't want to offend you. And I said, you can't offend me
Yeah.
though, because
Yeah.
we're in this safe
Yeah.
conversation. We've had a it's not like I've turned up this morning and all of a sudden you want to feedback something to me.
Right,
We're
right.
in a safe space. We were walking together in the beautiful sunshine. And then you offered me some feedback, and then you said, I don't want to offend you. And I genuinely meant not from my ego. You
Yeah.
can't offend me because
Yeah.
I'm open and I feel safe and I want to learn from you.
Yeah.
So you can't offend.
Yeah.
You could offend me if I was all defensive and in my ego and being like, well, she didn't know what she's, because you're telling me
Yeah.
something wrong, but
Yeah.
it's not from that space.
And it's so cool because then that allows me to know that I have the safe space to share. And then
Exactly.
it led to a big breakthrough of what
Yeah.
you're
Oh
going to
my God.
change and what
Huge.
you're going to do. And so it's like, if
Yes.
you were triggered or I was triggered or I
Or
was
if you,
afraid to
if you had
say,
called me up
yeah,
on that.
yeah, because like I said, I run the risk of offending you by saying this, but I really want you to hear this. Like my higher self is like telling me you need to hear this part.
Yeah.
And I could have been in my, bond response of like not
I'm
wanting
just not gonna
confrontation. I'm
say,
not going to tell her
and then
this.
we wouldn't be
And
here
then
for me.
you could have also received it. Like there's so many chain of events that had to happen where we're showing up in our healed nature
Yes,
for you to have that breakthrough.
exactly.
And that's a common thing that happens amongst us all the time because that's how we respond to each other.
Yeah,
Always. We always come with love. We always lead with love. And even if, the other, maybe we don't say it in the perfect way,
yes.
but we know each other's hearts.
Exactly. And
And
it's
that's the
like,
thing.
it reminds me, I went to church with her mum the other day. I'm not
Uh,
religious, but I loved it. And it said, one of the slides that he used, and it said something like, wounds from friends can be trusted. And then I can't remember the second part of
mm,
the thing, because that's basically, I hear it as, if you love someone enough, you will not allow them or enable them to stay in their own bullshit and to stay small. That's true love. Not enabling them
that's
to
so
stay in their
good.
victim mentality, being like, yeah, you know, poor you. Yeah, like, you know, yeah, it's really hard. And that's not to say to meet them with their emotions and to hold
Yeah.
space, but enabling me to stay in my what I was
Yeah.
saying,
Yeah.
other than you offering me a higher insight, you wouldn't have been showing me the highest form of love if you didn't risk
Yes.
defending me.
It's so true. It's literally because I want what's best for you.
Exactly.
And
That's
also,
true
I
love.
don't know what's best for you. I
Yeah.
consciously, purposely, I'm like, this is me. This is how I would do things.
Yes.
And because I'm like the role model in my human design, that tends to resonate with people. And sometimes it doesn't. It's like, okay, no, I don't like that. That wouldn't be for me.
Yeah.
But I try to, navigate things in a way where I can only see it from my perspective. It's a totally different perspective than yours, and yours is
Yes.
totally different than mine. And
Exactly.
so when we can share in a loving way to say, here's how I would do it, or here's my thought around that, then without, any kind of judgment, we can actually make shifts and make massive changes. And I think that's why we have done that. I mean, you
Yes.
and I have spoken almost every single day for the last 5 years. We're both incredible coaches, top coaches in our fields. It's like we both have an incredible amount of experience. Like, of course, we would rapidly,
Of course,
constantly.
I mean, come
Why
on.
wouldn't we? We're both fucking.
Yeah, of course we would,
Of course
because
we
we
would.
practice what we preach and we
Yeah.
embody what we teach. Oh my
Yes.
God.
Oh, I like that. That's a new
Oh wow,
that's a
that's good
slogan.
crossover.
Let's practice.
We
Here we
practice what we
practice what we
preach
preach
and
and
we
we
teach.
embody what we teach. Oh, I love it. Okay, new slogan.
Yeah, love that.
I love it.
But it's true, and you have to do the work.
You have to.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's beautiful. So I
yeah.
love it. And it's possible, you guys. Like it's just the beauty of what it is that we have is so special, but it also shows us that, oh, this is
It's
possible.
possible. And in order to find your people, I mean, Rebecca found me and I found Rebecca through, I wasn't even putting it out to the universe that I wanted
No.
a sister like you.
I think I may have been
My
like, just
unconsciously
like
was
I
like, I
always desired
desire
it.
something.
Yeah.
Interesting we use the word
I
desire at the
know. I
same time.
know.
But
I did
if
desire
you
that.
want or desire what something similar to what me and Rebecca have in your own way, and you're probably perhaps thinking, because I've heard this before with my clients, even if it's a partner or a romantic
Mhm.
partner, where do I meet these people? That's not for you to decide, that's for the universe to decide.
Mhm.
However, you do have to be open and
Yeah,
following
that's
your
it.
heart.
That's
So,
it.
and this is like, it's the knock-on effect. Like Wouter followed his heart to go to this
Exactly.
CPC, whatever it was called, the coach
CAPC.
thing. You followed your heart, which was nothing to do with me at that point, but of
Mm-mm.
course it was. So if you surround yourself with people, but you have to go first, follow your heart, inspire others to do the same, even if it makes no sense.
Yeah,
That's when you should do it even more. Things happen
they
that you
do.
can't explain that are like
Life
miracles.
changing. I mean, think about where both of us would be had we not met. I don't even want to.
No, I didn't want to
I don't
be.
want to.
No.
Like, I would love to think that I would have been able to,
I
I
think,
would
of
have been
course,
able
you
to
would
do
have
s maybe eventually, but
eventually.
there's no way we would have quantum
No,
leaped the way
there's
that we
no
have.
way.
No fucking way.
No way.
There's just no way.
Because you've helped me so much with what you're an expert in, and
Mhm.
vice versa.
Exactly.
And that
How the
alone,
fuck would we have done that otherwise?
no, we
I
couldn't.
mean, we would have probably just honestly, I don't even know that I would have been open to paying someone thousands of dollars to help me with it at
Yeah,
that time
yeah.
because I just wasn't prioritizing like
But it has a knock-on effect on,
it does.
and it's a circle, isn't it? Like, yes,
Oh, a lot of stuff.
oh,
It's okay.
like I now fully accept and embody who I am, but then Rebecca helps me with actually growing my business and my money mindset.
Mhm.
Because it's all right me loving who I am when I
Yes.
can't afford to travel anywhere,
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Right. And that's the same with me. It's like I can make all of this money, but if I don't fully, truly love myself or accept myself, there's going to be an incongruency
Mm,
there and people will feel that.
yeah.
And they have. And so it's just a matter of like that ripple effect that can take place when you are fully embodied and you are fully healed.
Mm.
But that wouldn't have happened. I mean, I think eventually, but this is back to what you were saying about, following your heart, because you have to recognize too that sometimes the things that we want and desire are, again, on the other side of
Where you
we
don't
don't
want
we
to
don't what you
walk.
where you don't wanna go,
No,
or fear, or
always,
uncertainty.
yes.
Like, I say that, like, the best thing that ever happened out of becoming a CHPC, which me and Valter both paid, like, $10,000 or, like, to go and or whatever it was, 10 grand to get the certification,
It
paid
was.
all this money to go fly and stay there. I mean, it was probably
Yeah,
$20,000 for that event,
yeah.
and I say the best thing that I got out of it was you. I literally don't use the certification anymore because I
No,
developed my own with the Align method, and so it's like, okay, well, but
but
my
it doesn't
higher
mean to be
self,
there.
but why did we go there? Well, of
Exactly.
course, like, hello,
To
because
build this.
I believe that we made the decision, like, before we ever came into this life, that we were gonna find a way to find each other, but we also have free will. So I could have said, "No, I don't wanna go. It's too much," or "I don't wanna do that," or whatever.
And Valter could have too,
He
because he
could
was
have
in
too.
Europe as
Duh.
well,
Yeah,
and
he
he'd
could have
never
made
even traveled to the States in his entire life. And then check
Oh,
this, just something I
maybe I
want to
did know
share as
that.
well.
Good.
He booked his flights to go because that was when he was switching from, because he was a marketing, he wasn't a
Yes.
coach, he was a marketeer, whatever you call it.
Yes.
And he was earning like a shitload of money, but he was just feeling unfulfilled. He
Mhm.
didn't enjoy it. So someone who can be earning like 30, 40K a month
Mhm.
would not potentially look at doing something else because they don't like it, because he followed his heart
Yes.
and was like, I want to be a coach.
Mm.
Even though I'm making all this money and it's easy and it's boring me and I just don't like it anymore.
Yes.
He didn't settle for that. So he followed his heart, went to America, booked flights. And I was like, why don't you book business class? And he was like, oh. And I was like, babe, if you're going like what, 12 hours in the plane,
Yeah.
you need to be lying down. And I never traveled business class until I'll share in a moment. And so then he changed his flights to go business class. And that was me inspiring him to put himself
Yes.
first and do that. And then on the flight to see Rebekah, I was lying down because I don't know if I'm jealous or not, because part of me feels like I'm quite bragging. But I never, ever in a million years thought I would ever fly business class anywhere, because that was how the other half lived. That
Mm.
was what rich people did. That was the way you'd go into a plane and then look left and be like, oh my God, like, I wish I,
Mm.
or say nasty things about them, because like we
Yeah.
wanted to be in that comfortable seat.
Wow.
So I flew business class for the first time ever. And I was messaging Rebecca on the plane because I have fucking Wi-Fi in the air. And I'm like, I'm literally drowning in gratitude right now. Like,
Yeah.
how is this my life? When I was crying to you down the phone that I had like what, 200, I think it was even less
Mhm.
than that, 200 euros a month to pay for all my bills and to live.
Mhm.
And then
Yeah.
JP on your mastermind said to me, yeah, we'll get you earning 4K a month. And I nearly died because I was like, what the fuck? That is so much money. I could never earn 4K a month being me as a coach. Like, what?
I think it's interesting to talk about, just had your best month ever. You don't have to share more than you're comfortable doing, but holy
Oh
shit,
my God.
best month ever.
I will share 26,000 for
Oh,
once. Like,
oh my God.
it's still like my
Okay.
nervous system's having to just be like,
It's fucking insane. It's literally
I'm
insane.
literally getting paid to be me.
Mhm.
Like, I can't, there's still some nervous system regulation I just need to do to like
Yeah.
ground into that,
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
Rebecca's taught
Yeah.
me. So I don't spend it all or then just next month
Mm.
make nothing. Like, you need to
Yeah, and you
be
still have to do
in
the
the
work.
work.
I love that you bring that up because I think that sometimes, like, especially in this day and age too, where there's like courses and manifestation, this and
Yeah.
you can buy all these different courses and people, it's marketing that talk about, oh, this is the secret to whatever it is. No, the secret is you just have to keep doing the work. If you don't stop doing it, then you never fail.
No, the
But
work
when you
works
stop, if you stop,
because of fear.
that's why you fail, period. So you
1,000%.
find a way, and that's the thing. It's like the more that you can embody this wisdom, make it, your own and in your actual way of living, everything
Which
changes.
you've helped me massively with. Like, I'm so grateful I get Rebecca on tap because she's
Mhm.
my bestie. Like, I would message you and be like, right, okay, so this was before this month. Like, when I
Uh-huh.
had my first
Uh-huh.
biggest month ever, like 6 months ago. And I was like, I feel really unsafe there. Like, I
Mhm.
feel like Vanta's going to make me pay for everything, which she doesn't. But my fear was like, I'm going to have to pay to take my mum somewhere now. Or like,
Mhm.
I've had this fear of like, if I make this money, I'm going to have to give it away somehow. So
Yeah.
it's almost like if I don't make that much, at least I haven't got to like then give it
Yes.
away.
Yes.
So you helped me through that. And then also I'm going to literally speak this into existence because it's going to happen. We're moving into our fucking dream house. Me and Balzer and Hero. You wait, because I'm going to be so happy to share
Oh, I
that
can't
we've
wait.
waited for it to find us. And of course it has.
Yes.
2 years, I think over 2 years, we've been looking for a house.
Wow.
And people, and almost me too, it was almost like, babe, we need to change something because we're not
Wow.
finding this house. And he was like, it will come. And I messaged you
Oh,
saying,
yeah.
right, because this dream house is ours, I know it.
Mhm.
Is then not having my full arms tattoo sleeve done, this what I want to invest in, my nails done, all my personal training sessions, etc. I was confused, like, is me not doing that now because we have this big investment coming up, scarcity,
Mhm.
or is me doing it because Wouter's like, we need to look at our finances. I wanted to be like, fuck you.
Mhm.
No one tells me I can't pay to have my hair. Like, he wasn't
Mhm.
saying that, but my trigger
Yeah, it's
was,
the trigger.
no one tells me what to do. So then I'm therefore going to do it. And then therefore also, I believe that the money's going to keep coming. So then I was like, Rebekah, what is it? Like, am I being irresponsible knowing the money's come, but then still not holding back? So you really helped me
Mhm.
through how to manage that. So
Mhm.
she's not going to tell you because you need to work for it. But
Well,
there's more to it
yeah.
than, isn't there? Because abundance is abundance and
There's
other stuff.
so many nuanced aspects to it,
Yeah.
and I think that's the beauty of this journey.
Yeah.
Because I think we're all unwinding things. We just happen to be a little bit further along maybe than someone else or than, most people really, because most people are living in the matrix still. But
Yeah.
those who are
Not people
listening
who are
to
listening
I
to
was gonna say,
our
if
podcast,
they're listening to the podcast, they're not living in the matrix.
especially your podcast.
Yeah, they're not. They're
Yeah.
not. But regardless, it's just important to know that we're not
So
just
many nuances to there.
oh yeah, there's
So
a
many.
lot of nuance. There's so many layers. Like it's
Mhm.
literally like I told Vic the other day that I just discovered the root of something that was massive
Yeah,
in
you
my
did.
life.
Yeah.
And I really feel like for the last 5 to 7 years, I've been like imagine like a ball of yarn,
Mm.
and then I feel like I've been like pulling this thread, and I'm like unwinding it. And then now it's gone. Like it's the
Yeah.
center of the ball. And like
Yes.
that's the root and that's what it is. But I had to do it in layers in order for my nervous system to feel safe.
Yes.
And I
In
think
a
that's
big knot, if you try and
yeah.
pull this
Yeah.
string, yarn, it could string is the English word for yarn.
Okay. Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, we're learning a lot about each other's languages as well. But that's the thing. So it's like,
Mm.
yeah, I really just had to keep pulling that. And each time that you pull it, every part of the you let go is necessary
Yes, to get to the middle.
to
You
get to the
can't do
middle.
it immediately
No,
because you've got all that
it might be too
yarn
overwhelming.
to get
Right.
through.
Might be way overwhelming for your nervous system. And I asked
Yeah.
my higher self the other day in the shower, I was like, well, can't I just, because I know how to remove my own blocks. I'm like, I know how to process and navigate all of my shit. And so when it comes up, I know exactly what to do. And it's not, some of the things that have come up lately, they would have destroyed me. They would have destroyed me years
Mm.
ago.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
it's like, oh, okay. I mean, I'm human. And so I allow myself to process things, but holy shit, the tools that I have now to just like real, like big T trauma stuff. I'm like,
Well,
oh,
that came up for you up that hill and you literally stopped, shared. I asked one question or something. You
yeah.
had a realization, you cried, I hugged you, and then you were just over it and
Uh-huh.
completely moved through it
Yeah.
in like 5 minutes.
And that's true freedom because when
Yeah.
you have all these triggers that come up, this kind of stuff, and I'll eventually be sharing too on my podcast, but realistically, it's important because when you start to unravel these things, you can't do it all in one.
But
And
you can
so,
then move through it quickly
yeah, you can move
when
through it
it's
really
ready to be
quickly.
healed.
When it's ready to be healed, it's literally like, especially if you have the modalities. And that's
Yeah.
why when women
Yeah.
come into my world, yes, I'm leading with helping them heal their relationship with money. That's what I started with because money was part of my identity. Money was what
Mm.
made me worthy. What money was what gave me safety and security for years and years. And now I know that it has nothing to do with me. It's not attached to my worth.
Yeah.
But that's where I
Which is why
started
you make
my
a lot of
healing.
it
Exactly, which
because
is
you weren't
why,
attached to
because
it.
you're not attached to it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, that was a big wound for me. And so I had to start there with myself. And that's where I start with a lot of women because everybody wants to heal their relationship with money. And I also think too,
Yeah.
like if you're not in survival mode, around money, then you can actually like look at the other areas of your life. So I tend to help women with money, but then they come into my world and then they change their whole lives. And that's what I did too. And
Yes.
when you get these tools that you can just use, you can process shit so fast. But at first, it's kind of hard because if you can imagine like a big ball of yarn, it might be really hard to like unravel it. Like it might be like, I don't know, like
Getting knots
it
and
might be getting knots, like, it'd be
yeah.
harder to unravel because you're not used to doing it, but then there's, like it becomes momentous.
Like
It's
a
now it's
snowman,
like
when you roll up a
exactly.
snowball,
Yes.
you get
It just
momentum.
becomes momentum, especially if you're doing it down a hill, like at my
Yes.
mom's yard.
Oh my god,
Make yeah,
that would be epic to
it would
snowboard
be.
down
It's
one
really
area.
fun. Yeah, it is. We do, like, little what is it called?
Eh,
Snow not
why can't we
snowboard.
speak?
Not snowboard
Sleighing,
because we
sledging,
sled. That's
sledge, sledging.
because we just went to lunch and we were just like
Why snowboard? Who the fuck is gonna snowboard down a drive? Why did I
driveway.
Why did I say
Snowboard.
snowboard?
I
Because
know.
my brain wanted to say sledging, but I didn't know the words. So instead of saying nothing, I said snowboard.
I don't know. Somebody's gonna snowboard down your driveway.
It's
We have to
big
like
enough.
show a
It's
picture
big
of
enough
like
to be
what we're
fair.
looking at
To be fair.
because
There we
to be
go.
fair,
It's big enough.
that is what she says all the time, and then I say is all. Which so I'll end a
Oh
sentence and I'm like, you know, oh well, we just have to rearrange one thing is all.
it's cute
And I
though.
don't know why I've
Please
never
don't
realized
stop.
that I do that. No, I'm not gonna stop,
Word.
but I just didn't know that I did it. And you didn't know
I
that you
didn't know what
said to
they're
be
to be
fair
fair.
after
Doesn't make
every
any sense.
after like almost like every conversation that we have, we're both saying like is all
But
to be fair. And now I picked up on to be fair. Mirror neurons.
Yes, I
Mhm.
keep saying totally, and I'm like, no. I love my British accent. Stay British.
Stay will. I know. If you moved here,
Oh,
you
I would.
probably wouldn't.
No, I would.
After a while, you would lose it. You would have it, but
You know
maybe
what I
not
find
here.
fun?
Yeah, but in the South.
Yeah.
In the South. If you moved to the South, you would that would be an interesting accent. It's like British with a little bit of twang. I've never heard I don't know that
I
I've
can't
heard
even do
anyone
an
like that.
impression of that because me and you have one
No,
do an
it's
impression.
bad.
Her
Hey
brother,
now.
one of her
I don't
brothers
know.
tried to do an impression of me. I'm
Not
not
a
joking.
Russian.
He walked up to me and said something, and I was like, "I'm not Russian." Like,
We literally had a
what's that?
we had a
That's
Russian
literally
accent.
Russian.
It was really bad. We're not good with that here.
And you know what Americans don't know? And this is what I taught Jeremy, who's obsessed with it, taking the mic. So when I say, are you taking the mic? It means, are you being serious? Like, are you
Mhm.
being sarcastic? Can I trust what you're saying? Or are you having a joke with me? I don't know about it.
Mhm.
So then he kept saying, like, on purpose, like saying it wrong, like, oh, you're just slipping the mic. And then grabbing the mic. And I'm like, that is weird and sexual because those two things, slipping and grabbing the mic, is wrong. He's taking the mic.
Taking the mic. Yeah, he is an interesting guy.
Oh,
But
he's
she's
so
gotten to
funny.
meet all of my family. Oh my God. It's been
Yes,
so incredible.
all of them, and there's a lot.
And they all love you.
I love them
They
too.
all love you. My
They
mom's
sent
like,
me
I'm not letting
chocolate.
this woman leave.
I'm taking everyone out tonight for a meal.
Oh, yes.
Surprise. Well, she knows we're going somewhere because I need to tell her to be
Mhm.
free.
Yeah.
But as I said at the beginning, you can't see what I'm pointing to right now, but I'm staying at her beautiful big house, which is like literally really close to yours.
Mhm.
I guess, oh, maybe I did stay with my own bedroom, my own bathroom,
Mhm.
and I'm so grateful for her providing me that space.
Yeah.
So you can keep your space. There's enough
Yeah.
space, but you have,
And
stuff
you
in
need, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's nice to have
It's
our own
perfect.
space. So I'm taking her out for a meal tonight because for some reason, Rebekah, I go home tomorrow. So you've got a meeting
Mhm.
tonight.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I'll take your mum out to say thank you because I wanted to do something for her.
Yeah.
So it's worked out
Yeah.
perfectly, of course, because
course.
everything is rigged in my
Everything
favor.
is rigged in our favor.
That's a mantra from Rebekah. So I'm a foodie. Those of you that know me know I'm a foodie. I get very excited about food. Completely healed numerous eating disorders, and I just genuinely love food. The Burgatory, I've said, I made Oreo balls for us. I need to tell you this recipe because you can thank me later. Literally a packet, we went big because we're in America. Normally you have one packet, we had like 4 and then we doubled it all. A big whole packet of Oreos, bash them all up with a rolling pin, which Eric lovingly did
Yeah,
for
he
us,
did.
or a mixer to make them crumbly. 1 normal sized pack of cream cheese, Philadelphia cheese, mix it all together, make them into little balls, put them in the fridge. Meanwhile, when they're cooling in the fridge, get some chocolate. Don't burn it like we did.
Don't burn it.
Like we did to start with, and we
Don't
ruined
burn
like
it.
200 grams of chocolate. Get some chocolate and melt it properly. And then get them back out the fridge and then drop each ball in the chocolate bowl and then like coat it and then put it on a plate back in the fridge. That's it.
Fabulous.
They're like cheesecake Oreo
My
balls,
whole family is
and
like
they're insane.
my little family. My husband and my
Lana
daughter are
especially.
like, "Oh my god, yeah." She grabbed one before dinner.
Yeah,
Like,
she
"We're
did.
going out to dinner. What
Like,
are you
yeah.
doing?" Yeah.
Crumble, the cookie place.
Crumble.
They've got cookies like as big as your head, and they're really
Yeah, they're
thick.
huge.
They're insane.
Crumble.
I need to try s'mores.
The s'mores we can do later tonight.
Oh, we've talked about Chick-fil-A. Where else
Mhm.
have we been?
We went to last night,
Oh, yeah.
the
Oh,
Lamont.
yeah. That was
We
and then
took
the
her yeah,
milkshake place
the
as
Milkshake
well.
Factory, yeah.
Yeah.
So we went
So
out for a fancy dinner
we
last
did. It
night,
was
and we
gorgeous.
did,
You tried duck for the first
I
time
did try
because
duck,
I had duck,
yeah.
and Rebekah then tried it,
Uh-huh.
which
Oh, I
was
forgot we have
nice.
leftovers,
Oh, yeah.
but I have to eat those later because we just
The
had lunch.
the portions are big. So I eat, I mean, a lot in quotes because compared to what? Like,
Yeah,
it's like literally good enough, not good enough, a lot, not a lot.
yeah.
Only is existent within comparison to something, and we
I
don't do that.
yeah.
Well, I am doing it clearly because I said it, but in comparison to Europe, American portions are huge. Like, even when I came for a cup
Yeah.
of tea, I'm like, "This cup is as big as like it's like a soup bowl just for a cup of
Well,
tea."
my mom's cups are a little bit
So it
extravagant
is
because
really
she
cool
loves
that
tea.
everything's
Yeah,
bigger. I
everything's
love
very
that.
larger than life.
Even the bins, right? The big wheelie
Garbage?
thing outside, you called it a tin or something. What did you or a can? What did you call
The
it?
garbage can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we call it a bin because we're British. Even the bins are like 3 times the size.
We got
It's
a lot
so
of trash
cool.
around here. I don't know.
Rubbish.
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 Yeah. We have a lot of garbage, and those aren't even enough sometimes.
It's great. Well, there's not enough for all
Well,
those people.
realistically, the reason is because Eric's been doing the basement. He's been refinishing the game room,
Yeah,
so
that
we've had
looks
a lot of
epic.
garbage that has had to come out
But
and do
your
that.
bins are just standard
Yeah, they're
bins are
huge.
huge.
Mhm.
What else? Oh yeah, talked about the little yellow school bus, big yellow school bus. Just an American truck. I'm like, oh my god, that's like a movie American truck just going by. And Rebecca's like, okay, yeah, it's like a normal
It
truck.
does, yeah.
The houses here are really different. So every house is different in your area anyway. And in Britain, they tend to obviously you've got different houses, but in housing estates, they tend to be built with the same brick and stuff. And they have so much land around their house. Like you've got a house all by itself with like land around it for a normal house.
Yeah.
That's not normal for us, as you've seen from my mom
Uh-huh.
showing you the
Yeah, that was
so
so cool.
that's what I was really taken back by, that there's everyone has their own space in
Yeah,
their
and
house.
so for the American listeners, there's
Yeah.
definitely like townhomes and condos and things here, but it sounds like that's the main way
That's the
that you
norm.
guys live.
Yes.
And then also it looked like from what your mom was looking at, like that was like an estate.
Most
And
of
then they
them are
like
estate.
portioned off. And
Yes.
that's what Mike, my business
Yeah.
partner, he has one of those houses in downtown Pittsburgh. But they're like, these are $1 million houses that are literally like attached to
Yes.
another house. Like it's not its own house.
Yeah.
So that we do have them, but it sounds like that's the primary way you guys
It's the
live,
primary way. And so
which is
our
not the primary way we live.
no, and so our new house, which again speaking to existence, is literally in the middle of nowhere. You literally go 365 degrees around this house, and all you can see is field.
So fucking cool.
And people don't want to live there because there's no schools, there's no buses, there's no trains. I mean, we drive, it's only like 15 minutes from the nearest little town, like little cute town. You'd have
Okay.
to go half an hour to get to like a, it's perfect for us.
Yes.
And you will be
And I can't
there.
wait to come visit. And then we'll record another podcast episode there.
We will.
It's
So
your
I
whole
need to
setup.
stop talking, but is there anything, Rebecca, that's probably valuable? Not just about
This is
what-
all
It
valuable.
is valuable.
It's all valuable.
This friendship's valuable. That
It
you
is.
want, that is coming through you, that you want to share about.
Really, it's honestly just knowing that you can create your own reality. Like basically, I kept
Maybe.
telling Eric, like, I can't believe that, like, I said that I wanted her here and now she's here. And I know that sounds really fucking, like, very basic, but that's what manifestation is. You put your intention out there, you say you want something, and then it fucking shows up. And it shows up in all different forms. And now, this used to be like a very esoteric thing for me, where it was just kind of like this abstract, yes, manifestation, like, yes, it
Mhm.
exists, but like, remember we were talking about this the other day, like we'd get really excited when
Yeah.
it happened and be like, oh my God,
Oh,
like,
yeah,
that's it.
yeah.
Oh my God, yeah, like, oh, holy shit, I can't believe it. And now it's like,
Of course.
yes, like that's
obviously.
how it works. You put the intention out there and then you move towards it. You have to have action,
Yeah.
right? Aligned action, inspired action. You move towards it and then it happens. And it's just so powerful because this really is an actual real life
I'm
manifestation.
literally
That's why
sat
we
here next
both
to you.
like I was like going to bed the other night, like falling asleep, and I was like, Is this a dream? Like wait, do I wake up tomorrow and like see her or am I just fucking dreaming this whole thing?
Yeah.
But that's the cool thing. It's like there is still magic to it. But when you embody it and
Mhm.
you know it and you do it on a every single fucking day basis, you have enough evidence that this is the way that it works. You put your intention
And it
out there,
becomes a and
you
of
take
course
action, and then it fucking happens. That's universal law.
yeah,
And that's what we've experienced with all
and
of
that's why
this.
we're like, of course
Of
we get
course.
free shit.
We
Of
always get free
course I've
shit.
had my biggest month ever. Of course we travel
Of
business class.
course.
Like, I'm so fucking grateful, but of course that's
Of course.
of
Of
course, like
course. And we still have spent the entire week together with like barely on our phones. Like we've
yeah.
been so present.
Oh, it's
That's why we
super
were even like, oh
nice.
my gosh, we have to take time because we wanted to do this podcast.
Yeah.
So it's just so fucking awesome. And it is fully fucking possible, to be able
Yeah.
to do what you want to do in the world, live the way that you want to live, and have supportive people. I was crying the other day telling you that I've
Yeah.
never felt this fucking supported. I've never felt this supported, not only with my business and my family and my friends, but also my higher self, like knowing my connection. When you actually really tap in, and I've been working through all of the five clairs and like all of my abilities, my gifting from my higher self. And I just know it so deeply now that I've never felt more supported in my whole life.
Mm.
And then having you here, it was just like that was the completion of it. It's like everybody that I need in my life is here, to support me to create this incredible vision, including all of you listening, right? Who are here, you're part of this vortex, you're part
Yeah.
of this world. And I
Yeah.
want you to know that because that's real. And so when you align with people and you start to vibrate on a similar fractal of energy with them, what ends up happening is you begin to see similar parallels in your life with them. That's just universal law. That's the way it works.
And it doesn't
And
have to be
so,
physical put in because we
mm,
have mirror neurons, yeah, stronger because we're together
yeah,
now. But Rebecca's influenced me. Yeah, she's coached me also, but influenced me just her presence. And I've not even met her in person until last
exactly.
week. So it
Exactly.
doesn't have to
It
only
doesn't.
be, it's the people you spend the most time with, thinking about, connecting with. Like you're far away.
Far
It's a
shit
fucking big
away.
ocean.
Yeah. Yeah.
So to give hope to others who are like, well, I mean, yeah, of course I would love to go for a cup of coffee.
Of
Hot chocolate,
course.
not coffee for
Yeah.
me. No. Of course we would like be seeing each other all the time, but we don't live in the same country.
We don't
So
have that ability
we
right
just
now.
speak
So
every exactly.
we'll
And
keep doing what we're
so
doing.
hopefully that will give inspiration to others and hope that it's so easily possible.
It is.
You don't have to be in your own town with somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
You
that would be
don't. That would
nice.
be nice. But also, where's the fun in that? Like, this is fucking fun.
Yes.
This is cool.
Very
This
cool.
is really cool that we've created this. And then I have somewhere to go next year. We're
Yes.
coming to the Netherlands. You're coming back. We'll probably have our, beach home in Florida by the next time you come back. So
And I
it'll
wanna go
just
to your
be,
cabin in the
oh
woods
yeah, the
also.
cabin
You
as
should have a
well.
cabin.
And then also like West Virginia and all the different places. So guys, there's so much power in just being connected with yourself, being connected with your higher self. That connection in and of itself, that's what's going to lead you to know
To
what decisions to
everything.
make.
Yeah.
And that's part of what I teach as well,
Yeah.
because I think it's so, and I know it's what you teach around food and body and all of that. It's so fucking powerful because that will never lead you astray.
We think we need to, and
Yeah,
I'll wrap up. We think we need to go and find people, but all you literally need to do is connect with yourself and
that's it.
return back home to self-love. That is literally it. And then follow your heart and then take action.
Yes.
That's the
That's it.
secret to life. It's not even a secret. That's how we've created
That's
this.
all it is.
That's how we've created our business. That's literally all you do. And then
That's
you're
it.
led.
And you also surrender and you let go of the timing because how many times were we
Yeah.
pissed off or mad
That
that
we
we couldn't
couldn't
meet
meet.
and like, oh, and then even with the house, like you
Yeah.
guys had to
Yes.
have this specific house come
100%.
up on the market. You
Yeah.
couldn't have had this house a year and a half ago. It
No,
wasn't for sale.
no. Exactly.
It's just like, duh. But
Trust the timing.
trust the timing.
Yeah.
Trust the timing, trust yourself.
Yeah.
But when you don't have that connection with yourself, it's hard
You
because
can't be
you don't know
led.
the difference. Yeah. And you also don't know if it's your trauma speaking or
Yeah.
all there's so many nuanced layers
Yeah.
to it. So that's why I say like get around people who are moving in the same direction of where you want to go because that's
Mm.
really what's going to be what helps you to shift your whole entire life, which is what we've done together over the last
I don't
five
wanna look at
years.
you on a screen anymore
I
because
know.
I'll be doing that
I
again next week. So I'm
know.
looking
Oh
at you
no,
like
I
in
know me too.
person. I'm
We're
like,
having a whole conversation, but
yeah,
that's okay.
okay.
Well, thank you guys so much for listening to
Same.
our story and being here with us today. Let us know what you
Yeah,
thought of this
because this
episode.
was we literally just started talking,
Uh-huh. Yeah. So
and
let
it
us know
went
if you guys want to hear more about our
bestie
perspectives,
bestie
bestie
chat
chats. We can do that.
episodes.
We can do those. I like
I would
that.
love to. We do it
Yeah.
we do
We
it
do it anyways.
anyway.
That's the difference. I love
Exactly.
that. Okay.
Me too.
So we'll do that. Let us know what you want to hear more about. If there's
Yes.
anything that you want to learn, we're open books. So if there's any topics that we talked about today that you were
We
like,
can talk
I've
more
heard of
about
that, but
that.
like I didn't know that. What do you think? We'd be more than happy to create more content around this. And we appreciate you guys spending an hour or so with us. We love you, and we'll talk to you next time
Love
on the
you.
Soul Power Podcast.
Bye.
Bye.